Day 46 in a third world prison. Psalm 35, verse 4 through 5. May those who seek my life be disgraced and put to shame. May those who seek my ruin be turned back in dismay. May they be like chaff before the wind, with the angel of the Lord driving them away. Julia, stay focused. Worry is a distraction from joy, peace. Have faith. Take pauses to breathe. Take time for gratitude. Live with the authenticity. Hold on to loving kindness. Forgive, but maintain your boundaries. Continue on your path towards healing. The best day of my life was sitting in that warm water pool at the birthing center and lifting her out of the water and seeing those big, beautiful eyes. The worst day of my life was April 7th, when the government worker took my baby out of my arms and took her away from me. I looked in little Makita's eyes and I said to her, I love you. It's going to be a while until you see me. And she just looked at me. Bye-bye. And that was the last conversation I had with her. I deeply miss my daughter. The hole that I've been feeling, that I've been carrying, is starting to fill up. The pain isn't as bad, but I still feel this deep pain and despair in my body every waking moment. I told the nurse today about the cockroach that bit me on the elbow last night. It's inflamed, it's really painful to the touch. And her response was, well, you're already on antibiotics from the chronic diarrhea, so that infection from the cockroach bite is going to heal pretty quickly. This is not a good place. There are no physical threats, minus the guards pepper spraying nonviolent inmates. But the psychological and the verbal threats, being charged is always hanging in the air constantly, which leads to a person being put on lockdown, so they lose any privileges. They're not allowed to make a phone call while they're on a lockdown. They can't talk to inmates. They only get one shower a day, and they have to stay in their cell all day with only one meal. The pepper spray. I watched a prisoner get handcuffed behind her back. I watched 4 officers stand around her, put her on her knees, open her eyes, and just directly spray the pepper spray into her eyes. The rest of the inmates ran over to the window in the rec center to watch, while I struggled to not cry as I hear this poor woman screaming out in agony and struggling for her life. I tried to get as far away from the windows as possible without drawing too much attention. And I just stood at the furthest corner of the room and talked to myself to continue to breathe. Inhale, Julie. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, Julie. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I just kept telling myself that over and over as I hear this woman screaming out in agony and the other inmates snickering and laughing and pointing and talking. I was afraid to cover my ears because, again, I did not want to draw attention, but it felt like I was standing in a horror movie. The isolation here. You're taken outside to the hole, which are a group of cells outside for single use or triple use. And you can never leave once you get put into one of those cells outside. And you have to remain there minimum 2 weeks, up to an indefinite amount of time, possibly your entire term of your sentence. You shower, you poop, you eat in that cell. The door to open to the outside, it remains locked at all times. You get one outfit and you have yellow prison clothes that you can wear. The only option you have is to eat the prison food and drink the pipe water. So you're not drinking clean water while you're in there. And the reason for being charged, anytime an officer decides that you have talked back to them or you break a rule that isn't even written in the rec room. And even the rules that are written in the rec room, they're not consistently applied or enforced. It's very confusing and unclear what you can and cannot do when you watch inmates sometimes get away with breaking the rules, while others are immediately charged and put in lockdown or isolation. I watched 2 cellmates argue over a spoon, a plastic spoon, and they pepper sprayed them for that. It was a verbal argument. They didn't touch each other. There was no physical contact. They were just arguing over whose plastic spoon it was. They put handcuffs behind their back, put them on their knees outside, and pepper sprayed them in the eyes and left them there to struggle in agony. And then they had to spend 2 weeks in isolation. A prisoner getting out on bail, taking a piece of paper from a cellmate, was put into isolation. The paper only had the cellmate's name written on it so that the other prisoner that was getting out that day could stay in contact with her. A prisoner is on lockdown for 3 days. Because of that, her release has been delayed. She was supposed to go, but because they put her on lockdown for taking that piece of paper, they made her stay longer. Prisoners who are workers or appear to follow rules have a high level of responsibility, manage multiple jobs, hand out food, hand out clean new clothes, sometimes run workshops for us. But yesterday, one of those women was put in isolation, and we have no idea why. It's confusing because she is the most ethical, law-abiding, and Christian woman I've ever met. She did so much to help me. She coached me and helped me survive this experience. And my last few days here, she's been put in the hole. I mean, she went so far as to give me advice to keep them from putting me in the hole when I was deathly sick and I refused to put anything in my mouth until I saw the doctor. And that was very deeply disturbing. You have prisoners that are model prisoners that do so well and take the rule seriously and are so service oriented towards the other inmates that they're given all these special extra privileges, but then just like that, it's stripped of them and they're thrown in the hole. It sometimes felt very political, why some people were in the holes, why others weren't, but it was like a form of mind control. You never knew who's going to get thrown and why, who's going to get maced and why. And it was not, it was just a very bad experience. It messes with your mental peace.